Hi, my name is Philip and I managed to reach day 2 at the largest European YCS up to date, YCS Düsseldorf number 1. I finished with an 8-4 record playing Burning Abyss. And I think I was one of the only Burning Abyss players in day 2. I didn't saw any other, so I don't know if I maybe was the best Burning Abyss player on this day, but I don't want to say it because I don't know, but it's safe to say that I was at least one of the best. And yes, without further ado, let's get to the list. First of all, it's a blind going second deck. Yes, because since snow is gone, you can't play going first Burning Abyss anymore, in my opinion. So I start off with 3 Finnish Rhino Warrior. It's pretty much the staple card in the deck. You always want to have 3. It's one of the few cards you always want to draw and you always want to mill, so you have to play 3. Next is 3 Gallus, the Star Beast. I have to mention that I don't play the Hydrolander build, because as I said, snow is gone, and without snow the Hydrolander build isn't viable anymore in my opinion. So I can play a lot of 3-offs, which I wasn't playing with the Hydrolander build. But Gallus was even a 3-off in the Hydrolander build, because I think it's that valuable. It's a great extender, it's a great combo opener, and it also can play around hand traps. For example, if my opponent has an Impermanence or a Veiler on my Rhino, normally my plays would stop, but with Gallus I can still play on. Same with 2 guys. So I really want to have 3, and I really like the card. So with Hydrolander gone, I need to play another boss monster. So I play 3 Black Luster Soldier. I really like him in the build, and even when I played Hydrolander I used to play 2 because I didn't want not to play it. And it was really a valuable card. It almost never came dead, and it almost always helped me win the game when I had it. So really good card, and I really don't want to miss it. And then, in my opinion, the most valuable card of the whole weekend, the best card of the whole weekend, 3 Pankratops. As I said, I play a going blind second deck, and Pankratops is just the best going second card in the whole format, in my opinion. This card is just everything. It's an out against floodgates, it's an out against big monsters, it draws out negations, it helps to OTK, it's link follower, or it's an interrupt in the opponent's turn. It's just like everything you need. It's ridiculous how good this card is, and it helped me out in so much situations. For example, I played against True Draco, and he opened with Inspector Border, Domain, and another 2 Draco, and there can only be 1 set. So basically I'm dead, but I just special Pankratops in 1, because he couldn't handle it, so this card is just amazing. Okay, I played 9 hand traps, so 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 3 Veiler. Pretty standard hand trap lineup in my opinion. I didn't play Joan Lockbird because I don't own them, and I also think they are not as good as these 9, because these are very flexible. I would say out of all of it, Ghost Ogre is maybe the weakest one, because you use it less often than the other ones. But it can be really great against Salamangreat, because if they open Lady Debug and you Ogre, then the turn is basically over. So you still want to play it. Which I found it very surprising that Effect Veiler is maybe the best of all of them at the moment, because a lot of decks can build chains around their effect, and they build the chains a way you can't interrupt with Ghost Ogre and Ghost Ogre or Ash. And Veiler you can just activate at any time, because you don't need to chain them directly to the effect. Also, Effect Veiler is the only card you can activate more than once per turn, so it's a really good card in the current format. Obviously I can't play Impermanence because I play on Second Slide build, so yeah, Effect Veiler is a really good card, and also Ogre and Ash did their job. So now there's the 2-offs. I don't play any dangers in the deck. I also don't play the Destrudo package, so it's a pretty basic deck, not much of a link spam, more of a traditional Burning Abyss. So I played 2 Rescue Cat instead. I know Rescue Cat isn't really played anymore in BA, but I tested the Mathematician Edgem Saber, and I found them like okay, but not really good. So I decided to go back to the cat, because I think it can do more than Mathematician Edgem Sabers, especially since Snow was gone. And I started them out a lot, and I didn't have them a lot, but if I had them, they did their job, so they were okay. Not great, but okay. Now to the Burning Abyss lineup. it's pretty basic, I would say. I played 2 Fafa. You really need to, because you only want to have one in deck in case you end on a Beatrice. You need to mill one from deck, but you don't need 3. 2 is the best number, I think. Then I played 2 Libic. This is rather unusual because a lot of players only play 1, but I think 2 is really good because Libic is the best combo extender if you're speaking of BAs, and you always want, it's always good to have it in hand and it's always good to have it in decks, so playing 2 is not bad at all, and it's quite relaxing to play 2, so because you can use one and you know if you want to use one next turn you can do it, so I really like playing 2 and I will definitely continue playing 2. Then the one-off BAs, 1 Seer of course, 1 Graph of course, only 1 Scam. I think 1 is really enough. As I said, I don't go first anymore, and also Scam has only 1 good target in the whole deck, and that's Tour Guide. And so you only need 1. It's perfectly fine. I wouldn't play more. And then Alec, it comes up sometimes. It's really good against Thunder Dragon and against Subterror, which I played a lot. Calcap, you can use it sometimes in Barber if you need it for the last few points of damage or in the timeout. Yeah, so pretty basic, also to have some different names. In an old build, in a Highlander build, I used to play every single BA, at least once, but now, since Highlander is gone, you can play way more 3-offs in the deck, so you don't have as much space anymore for a lot of names. So yeah, I prefer to use only BAs which are actually useful and not only to special summon. Then obviously 1 Tour Guide, then 1 Terratop and 1 Takatombok. I really like them. Of course Takatombok can be a death draw, but yeah, you can shuffle it with Sacker Light, and even if not, 1 death draw isn't really that important, I think. And if you open Terratop, it's the best opener in the whole deck, so it's completely worth it to play the package. And yeah, every time I opened it, it was really, really good. I either drew out negations or I just could build up a good board. And the last monster I play 1 time is Pero Pero. That was maybe the most useless card in the main deck the whole weekend because I never used this effect. I literally never used it. It's obviously there to special summon with Rescue Cat, so I also boarded them out very often when I started out the Rescue Cats. I sometimes want to mill him with Beatrice because it has a nice graveyard effect, but as I said, I never drew him, which was good because I don't want to draw him, but I never used him either. And there was one match where I really needed him because my opponent had Christia, but I didn't draw him, so yeah, I don't know if I would continue playing him. So that's 37 monsters, obviously 3 spell cards, 3 Sacker Light. This card is ridiculous, I don't have to tell you why. It's completely worth it to build your deck around it, and every time you have it, you have a much easier time winning the game. So that's 40 mana cards. Obviously, I wanted to have as consistent as possible. Side deck, as you may notice, there are no Kaijus in the main deck, so I side deck 3 Garmessiers. I play a blind go second deck, so you would assume that I have to main Kaijus, and I was thinking about maining Kaijus. But the thing is, I expected that in the tournament were a lot of decks playing second. And I don't expect to win every dice roll, so I expected that there were some matches where I had to go first. And if I play 9 hand traps and 3 Pancratops and 3 Garmessier, I brick way too often going first. And I wanted to have the viability to at least build a board going first, so I decided to drop the Kaijus from the main deck because I thought the hand traps were more valuable. That's something I guess would change because I bought the Kaijus like in every matchup and they were really, really good, so I think I would cut 3 hand traps, maybe the 3 ogres, or maybe 1 Ash, 1 ogre, 1 whaler, and just main deck the 3 Garmessiers. Another note that I am playing Garmessiers and not the other Kaijus. The last regional I played before the YCS, I played 4 Kaijus. I played the biggest Kaijus I had, like with the Thunder Kaijus and the Dogoran, because I thought big Kaijus were good for my deck, because then I can steal them with Borrow Load and like OTK my opponent easily. But I noticed that every time I gave my opponent the Kaiju, I couldn't get over the Kaiju. So I decided as small as I can get, so I decided to just play 3 Garmessier, and they were amazing. They were really amazing. It was the perfect ratio, I think. Then I played Triple Twin Twister. Obviously, you have to play it. You have to play it against some decks. Yes. Then I play 2 Magicist Fiend and 2 Vanity's Fiend. I really like the package because both of them have their advantages and their disadvantages. So most of the times I just side all 4 of them. And it's if I decide to go first and then just summon one of them and hope I win. Also, I can side them going second. And in the future, I think I will play 3 Majesties and no Vanity's Fiend because Majesties is clearly superior, clearly the superior of the both of them. And he won me like 3 games on his own, and he did nothing at all at the tournament. He won me a game against Subterror, he won me a game against Cyber Dragon. It's such an amazing card. If the opponent can't out them, you always win. And opponents, surprisingly, opponents are often catched off guard by it. They often read it and then think, wow, what should I do against it? So it's really good. Then I played the 3rd Rescue Cat and Elephant in the side deck. It's because I want to have the option to go first against Striker and some Naturia Beast. I never played against Striker, I never played against like Necros or any other spell deck, so I didn't use them at all. I think I once bought the 3rd cat, but I never bought the Elephant. Then 1 card destruction on Monster Reborn. It may look a bit strange, but it's a really simple reason. When I side out Sekka's Light, I have room to play spells which I can't play in the main deck because of Sekka's Light. And card destruction is pretty stable because it is a card which adds consistency. And Monster Reborn is just like one of the strongest spells in the game. So I thought, why not just siding Monster Reborn when I side out Sekka's Light? And it really, I drew it once and it won me the game. I drew it in it. So yeah, so it was decent. And the last card is my Penguin Soldier. I always play him. I know he is not good anymore since like 6 years, but he's my mascot in every tournament I play, in every deck I play. He is at least once in the side deck, so he was with me in this tournament. So, extra deck left. Extra deck I have, of course, Double Dante. 2 are enough. You don't need the 3rd. There were a few test matches where I would have needed the 3rd, but in the tournament it was always fine to have 2. So part 2, sorry we had a few camera problems. I think I explained the Dante already on the video before. And the second card is 2 Phoenix. Normally you only play 1, but like since I started playing the deck I was told to play 2, and back then it was staple I think. And I never felt necessary to drop 1, and sometimes I need the second, and honestly I just have the space for it. So yeah, playing 2 is okay, but if I need something else I can easily drop the second one. Then from Beatrice, obviously. I do play the Pilgrim. I think it's a really good card. It won me a lot of matches, and I don't play such an OTK based build. Mine is more like a bit control based. As control based as you can play in this format, obviously. And yes, so I really like it. Also, every time I play against True Draco, this card just wins me the game. So it's definitely needed, in my opinion. Then I have 2 additional rank 3s. 1 Break Sword, it can out Floodgates or something like it, and 1 Darius, it can out big monsters. I summoned him once and I never summoned him, but they are good. I like to have them for utility reasons. Then I play the Naturia Beast. If I want to side Elephant, I think the Rescue Cat package is going to get out of the deck, so he is as well. But I like to have the options, but I didn't play against any striker as I said this weekend, so I didn't need it. Link Monsters. 1 Underclock. If you are forced to go first, you need him for the Beatrice combo sometimes. Then 1 Cerberus and 1 Unicorn. The normal Nightmare package. I'm also playing 1 Mermaid. If I want to pop something with Phoenix and then go into Dante, I need the Mermaid. I never use these 2. I use these 2 I think in the tournament. And the last 2 cards are obviously Bobble Load and Bobble Sword. They are just too good in the deck. I never used Bowl Load. I used Bowl Sword like 3 times. Like I'm saying, I'm not playing the Destrudo package, so he's not that needed. But it's just an OTK option you have to play, in my opinion. Big shout out to my good friend Moritz, who lent me the Bowl Sword. It's the only card in the deck which doesn't belong to me, because it's too expensive for me, and he just lent it to me, and it was really good to have it. It was really nice to have it. So thank you again for it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A few shoutouts to all the people who went with me to the event. Also shoutouts to Sven, Simon, and Moritz, and also to everyone who talked to me at the event, who made it a good time, who helped me prepare, and also shout out to my girlfriend who's currently recording and has no idea what I'm talking about, but she's recording anyway. So thank you, and that's it.